Between 1894 and 1896, the Turkish government of the Ottoman Empire began committing atrocities against the Armenians, whom they considered subversive.
The Turks called the Armenians gavurs, infidels, or dogs. We were subversives, we were dogs, we were infidels. We weren't human beings.
In these years alone, it is estimated that 300,000 Armenians were massacred or perished as a result of the destruction of their villages. Consequently, between 1896 and the beginning of World War I, about 100,000 more Armenian citizens of the Ottoman Empire fled abroad, emigrating to France, Egypt, and the Balkans, in particular Bulgaria. Eventually, many of them made their way to the United States, with the majority settling in Massachusetts and Detroit. Those who remained put their trust into a reform project of local administrative autonomy as provided by the Berlin Treaty of 1878. Under joint European pressure, the Ottoman government signed the project in 1913, but canceled it a year later because of World War I. Since a military coup d'etat in 1908, Ottoman Turkey was governed by nationalists who gradually came to the conclusion that further territorial losses and the collapse of the empire could be avoided only by ethnic homogenization or Turkification of this multi-ethnic and multi-religious feudal state. In particular, the two largest Christian nations, the Armenians and the Greeks, were considered to be internal enemies or traitors. The First World War, which Turkey entered as an ally of Imperial Germany, offered ample opportunities to free Turkey from the suspect Christians. The declaration of the Holy War, Jihad, on the 14th of November 1914, delivered legal and religious permission to include Christian co-citizens into the list of the Ottoman Empire's official enemies.
They want to destroy Armenians.
Alvar and Talat and Jamal. They started deportation, killing of Armenians, to have Turkey for Turks only. They started a nationalist movement, like all Armenians, all foreigners out of our country. This is our country.
In 1915, behind the screen of war, the Young Turks, officially known as the Committee of Union and Progress, implemented a plan to exterminate the Armenian population of Ottoman Turkey and free Turkey forever from any reform obligations.
Turk people came and they said, we're going to take you to nearby villages, not theirs are.
All my teachers disappeared. All our poets, writers, and all famous people was carried away. They never came back.
The genocide was carried out through the Special Organization, a previous intelligence service and later a tool in the hands of the War and Home Ministries. The number of members in the Special Organization increased to 15,000 in the year 1915. They were the actual henchmen of this genocide, among them convicts and many members of Muslim ethnic groups uprooted by the Balkan Wars and Russia's conquest of the Caucasus. The atrocities were veiled under the guise of deportations, as the Young Turk government ordered the Armenians to leave their ancestral homes. Slave labor and massacres reduced the adult male population, in particular of the Armenians, whereas women, children, and old people were marched to death in the Syrian desert.
They gave us 3 hours to move out of our ancestral home with anything that we could carry, that's all. It was a cruel thing, it was a terrible thing.
We had to leave our house so they could confiscate all the belongings that we had.
We work in the desert. My feet is all bleeding and sore and thing. Hot sun up there, hot sun down here. No hot water. Very seldom we come across the water in the desert. See, No food. Sometimes we starving 2-3 days.
According to an estimation of October 4th, 1916, by the Imperial German Embassy of Constantinople, 1.5 million of the Armenian pre-war population of 2.5 million perished in the short period of 18 months.
We were helpless people. No ammunition, no bad thing.
They kill everyone. They kill everyone. Yeah.
They dropped them all in there and burned them up. All the kids. And they killed my brothers, 3 of them at one time. In front of our eyes.
You see, you haven't got nobody left from your family, you know. That's very hard.
In my father's case, my mother's was very difficult, and my father's was very tragic. He was born in 1905. There were 8 children in the family, mother, father, aunts, uncles. They were all massacred by the Turks with the exception of my father, my Uncle Paul, and my Aunt Elmas. At a very early age, these children had no one to supply any food, shelter, clothing, or love. Finally, the Red Cross put them in an orphanage in Syria where they spent their next 2 years. Actually, it was the only formal education that my father had in his lifetime.
My mother and father immigrated from Turkey. My dad came to Aleppo, fled Turkey and went to Aleppo, and subsequently went to Cuba, and then came here because his older brother was established here. My mother was the youngest of 5 children, and when she fled, she went to Lyon, France, and then subsequently her sister died in France, and she came to America on her passport.
You have to understand the sacrifice they made so that you know it was made not in vain. It was made for a good cause. And that's why we're here. And we didn't all die over there. And the spirit didn't die. No matter what they did, they couldn't kill us. And we're still going strong.